Have you ever felt like there's some kind of secret to making AI really work for you? A simple trick that's just hiding in plain sight? Well, according to our source material today, there is. And it's a secret big tech really, really hopes you never figure out. Okay, let's dive right in. So let's start with a question that I think probably hits close to home for a lot of us. You've got a question, you go to a search engine, and what you get back is just chaos. Does that feeling, that deep frustration sound familiar? The author of our source material, Sam Richardson, he puts it pretty bluntly. He argues that for the last 2 decades, we've basically been trained to use the internet in a way that benefits these huge corporations, not us. So this whole explainer is about unlearning that lie. Right, so let's talk about that broken experience. Just picture it. You're trying to get a straight answer to a pretty simple question. You sit down, you type it in, and what happens next is anything but simple. This slide just nails that feeling, doesn't it? It's like a digital tidal wave. You've got ads screaming for your attention, different articles giving you completely opposite information, and you end up walking away more confused than when you started. You feel totally unseen and unheard. And here it is. This is the core idea from our source. This whole mess, it isn't an accident. It's a business model. The confusion isn't a bug, it is a feature. The whole point is to keep you clicking and searching and digging through all that noise, because every single click is another chance to sell you something. But what if there was a way to just cut through all that noise? Well, this brings us to the big idea of this explainer, the typed secret. And it's all about a massive shift in how we talk to AI. From speaking like a robot to, well, speaking like a human again. This slide just shows the difference so perfectly. For years, we've been trained to use what he calls robot speak. We chop up our real questions into these weird little chi words like best arthritis cream, just to please an algorithm. But human speak? Well, that's how we actually think. It's got the context, the emotion, the why behind the question. And this new way of talking, the source calls it interest search. See, modern AI is finally powerful enough to understand not just the words you're using, but the actual human interest behind them. We're moving from just analyzing data points to actually understanding people. So you're probably thinking, if this is so much better, why isn't everybody talking about it? Well, according to the source, it's because this shift is a direct threat to the big tech giants and their whole walled garden approach to the internet. And this slide just brilliantly lays out why. I mean, think about it. It's pretty hard to slap a banner ad on a raw human feeling. The moment you get a direct, helpful answer, you stop clicking around, and boom, they lose control. This whole new method makes their complicated systems way less important, and maybe most importantly, it gives the advantage back to the little guy. You know the story we're always sold, right? That AI is this impossibly complex thing that only experts in Silicon Valley can really handle. But the source argues that's just a tactic to keep you inside their controlled environment, their walled garden. But these decentralized tools, which are open to everyone, they just blow the gates right off that garden. So here's the crucial takeaway. In a world that actually values context and humanity, your personal experience, all that wisdom you have, becomes incredibly valuable. It's not about how well you can code anymore. It's about how well you understand a real human problem or passion. Okay, so we get the why, now let's get to the how. Let's see how this all builds into a real practical strategy. The source lays out this simple 4-step plan to go from being a confused searcher to someone who can actually use this new reality. So here are the 4 steps. First, just stop searching and start having a conversation with AI like it's a real person. Give it the whole story. Second, focus your content not on keywords, but on the deep human interest behind them. Third, use AI itself as a research tool to find the real, unanswered typed questions people are actually asking. And finally, number 4, choose simple, open tools over the complex, expensive platforms. Let's look at a really clear example of that first step. As you can see on the slide, AI for seniors is just a keyword. But that second query, that's a conversation. It is packed with context, age, professional background, a real passion, and a specific problem. The quality of the answer you'll get from that second prompt is going to be worlds apart. Okay, so this entire shift, it leads to a completely new way of thinking about being seen online. It is a whole new game, which means the old rulebook is officially out of date. The source makes a really bold declaration right here. Forget search engine optimization, or SEO. The future is AEO, answer engine optimization, and that's a total paradigm shift. This table just breaks it down perfectly. The goal of SEO was to trick a robot. The goal of AEO is to genuinely answer a human being's question. Where SEO focused on all that technical stuff like keywords and backlinks, AEO is all about the quality of your wisdom and context. And that means the advantage shifts from big budgets to authentic life experience. Now you might be wondering, okay, but does this actually work? Well, get this. The author of the source, Sam Richardson, says he's achieved over 300 top rankings on platforms like LinkedIn and Medium, often beating out massive corporations. And his proof? He did it by answering these very specific, human-typed questions. And this is the bottom line for AEO. In this new world, the AI's #1 goal is to find and give the most helpful, human, and conversational answer to its user. It's the quality of your answer that matters, not the size of your bank account. So, the most important thing to take away from all this is simple. You do not need to go learn how to code or become a data scientist. This is about taking the wisdom and expertise you've built up over a lifetime and just using these new, simpler tools to share it with the world.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer, and it leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. Based on your unique experience, your passions, your wisdom, what is that one burning, unseen question out there that you are uniquely qualified to answer?